Welcome to another episode of Sarova at 50, where we talk to our long-standing employees and engage with them one-on-one. This week, we talk to Caroline and find out about her journey in Sarova hotels.
My name is Caroline Mbugua. I am a senior sales account manager. I have worked with Sarova for the last 26 years. Employed in 1998, precise 12th February. My first position at Sarova Stanley was a coffee shop attendant, and thereafter I was able to move to the hostessing department within the F&B. That is the famous Thorn Tree restaurant, one of the very good signature restaurants we have as Sarova Group. It has a lot of history, so I was privileged to have worked there. Thereafter, I was able to move to become a banqueting coordinator, which is to help all our guests during their conferencing experience, which is on our first floor. And that gave me a very good learning lesson on how to deal with customers, how to engage people. And I was very ambitious into knowing how do I get to people to a hotel. And that's what motivated me to now move to become a banqueting coordinator. So I moved to the office, and I was able to learn the new skill of becoming a banqueting coordinator, a lot of support from my managers, a lot of trainings. And I must say at this point that training forms a very important thing in Sarova. They're engaged in learning lessons, ensuring that people learn throughout. It's a learning process that's through. So in my new position, I was also engaged by the training department to learn more about sales, to increase my skills about negotiating skills, prospecting skills, and that's what catapulted me to a position that was never there, called the banqueting sales account manager. Now, this position entails that I bring revenues within the organization purely for the F&B docket, and that involves conferencing, it involves outside catering, it involves office meetups. So we did caterings in office meetups. It was really interesting. That is one position that I really admire, because it is through that position that I was able to learn my skills on customer relationships, customer retention, and of course engage myself in the sales aspect. Well, not long after that, a position arose in the account management position in the sales department. And well, guess who was called to fill in that position? I was privileged to have been enrolled in that position, a position that I really wanted to work hard through. I was now tasked to sell rooms. Now you're moving from an F&B, now you have a bit of rooms to now sell, and that is when I was given the airlines to handle. And during my tenure, I can say I was able to host over 7 airlines, what we call crew, layover, and staff. So that was a very engaging time for me for about 3 years. Very interesting clientele, because they're they are 1 night, 2 nights, so they're very on short stays, and I really enjoyed myself. But with time, and a position again arose at the head office. And then our sales manager, Rosalind Duarte, felt that it is time to move this young lady to a different position, because I think I had grown in terms of the scale of sales and revenues into the organization. And that is when now I was given the position of a sales account manager handling the industrial area, and which has been a position that I held for about 5 years, 6 years, and later got a promotion as a senior sales account manager, a position that I feel, and I'm really excited that Sarova has made me grow. It's a growth, as you can see, from one position to another, and I really appreciate that. Happy to be a senior sales account manager. And obviously, as I say, Sarova is one hotel that will make you grow. So I know there's still a growth pattern for me within the organization. Well, first, it was a shocker. I had never been to a 5-star hotel. So I get in and have this letter. And anytime you're given a letter to report to work, you arrive in an hour before. You'd rather be hanging around. So I went direct to the HR department. My supervisor then, the late, was called to pick me up and took me to my new station. It was a shocker because one, I'd never worked around so many people. There was a lot of movement. There was food being cooked. And I can tell you the support I got from the staff, from the managers, have really catapulted me in a good way. I mean, it already gave me a positive feeling that this is the right place to be because of the culture that I already found, because how people welcomed you was amazing. It was a long shift, 8 hours shift. I had a bit of high heels. I'd not been briefed about the shoes. So I had a laughing moment when I got off work because I was really tired. But after that, I wanted to come back the following day because I felt this is the place I belong. Oh, I would just pick it up so fast. I think my best memorable guest experience was when I served the late Honorable Moi Kibaki. He had come for a conference, for a 2 weeks conference organized by an organization. And those 2 weeks were very good because I was able to have engagements with him. I was like his personal aide in the hotel. His food specialties, his little requests were coming through to me. I actually felt like a mini vice president for that moment. And yeah, and later on when he became president, anytime he would come to the stand, he would recognize me. He would say hi to me. So for me, I felt really, really privileged to have been or have given service to him because, I mean, once a guest comes back and they're happy, you also feel happy. You know, I say, and I keep saying change is inevitable. And you can either change for the better or for the worse. But gradually, as I have stayed in Sarova, I have seen a great move within Sarova. One, in terms of service delivery. I mean, their services are improving day by day, years and on year. I mean, Sarova has been respected in the hostel industry. It's one of the industry people, I mean, one of the group of hotels that when people hear of, they know they're in the safe zone. There's also the culture of the people. I mean, Sarova has a very good retention power. It has a very way of ensuring that the people who work in Sarova are happy and, of course, providing that learning experience. So continuously, there's a lot of improvement in that. And obviously, in expansion, Sarova has really grown in terms of providing this service outdoor. Now you hear in Kisumu, you're hearing in Nyuki, we are expanding. That means there's growth within us. So the change has been very positive. Of course, with a good leadership of our managing director. And we know we are going to go beyond borders, I'm sure someday, and I know there's good growth for Sarova. So it's very positive. The industries were really shaken. That I could tell you, hospitality, the travel industry, and just generally everybody's business was affected. It was a global pandemic, so nobody was spared. And I can tell you that Sarova, and thank you to the board and management of Sarova Hotels. Thank you for keeping your staff on board. And I remember that we were able to sustain us, and just not just COVID. I remember some years back, we also had the Gulf War affecting the whole world, and Sarova was able to retain their staff, keep them afloat, keep them moving in their social, in their mental. We had a lot of wellness programs organized by the company online, just to keep you, your mental wellness okay, because many people are going through a turmoil over that time. So Sarova, I can tell you, is one organization that no matter what happens, they will do the best to ensure that everybody is fine. So thank you. I would say embracing change. There's a lot that comes into it. There's also client preference. Over the years, having served all these clients, there's a lot of different clients with different preferences, so that you have to keep up with what the client wants. There's also a market trend changes. Technology is here with us massively, we can't avoid it, and so you have to keep yourself up with the technological. And just being positive, hard work, diligent, and working towards your goal and visions of what you want to accomplish. Thank you.